What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, shout out to Tiki TV. I think he's doing a live stream talking about this right now. So, according to reports, some within the Lakers organization are entertaining the idea of trading Anthony Davis. All right, now, for a long time, most of us have said that that's the trade that makes the most sense. He's the one in his prime. He's the one that you think would have the most upside, right, of the so-called big three. He's the one you would get a lot more for. It makes the most sense. Nobody wants Russell Westbrook. LeBron, despite all of the rosy media articles and pieces and segments where they keep saying he's got in his prime, he is not. Despite the numbers he put up last year, those numbers look good on the surface, but when you dig deeper, those numbers were the result of stat padding. A lot of times his points did not have an impact on the game. As a matter of fact, you could argue that the more minutes he played, especially in second half of games, the worse the Lakers were in position. Oftentimes, fatigue played a factor in LeBron James. He would start missing in the four quarters. He wasn't playing any defense, and teams that they were playing against would ultimately win the game in the second half, in particular the four quarters, when LeBron's lack of defense and shot jacking would cost the team. All right? And we know Russell Westbrook did not have a great year, especially the first 2 months where he was absolutely fucking atrocious. AD did not have the campaign that you would expect from him, but even in the 30-something games, 37 games he appeared in, he still averaged something like 24 points and 10 rebounds. All right? And that's on a down year. So he's the one that has the most upside. As a matter of fact, I could have sworn when the Lakers acquired him, he was the guy that was supposed to build their franchise around long after LeBron James hung him up, or at least left the city. So, it makes sense to trade him. However, I think a lot of this is contingent upon the success of this year and what LeBron James does. I think ultimately they may end up trading AD because this season is going to be a shit fest. It's going to be a repeat of last year. They're not going to win. They haven't really shown up their roster. I don't really see much differences. Perhaps they may win 5, 6, 7, 8 more games. But the other teams have made so many more strides. The league is much more competitive. The other teams have gotten better. Where the Lakers have stood pat, and I just don't see it, man. And now when you think about the AD factor, at least me, and I'm pretty sure some of you have already come to this conclusion. Perhaps the reason why they don't want to trade it, Russell Westbrook, why this is so difficult, is because as bad as next year is going to be, I think most people in the Lakers organization, in the front office definitely, they figure, well, we'd rather have one more year of mediocrity with Russell Westbrook than to mortgage our future by making a trade for Russell Westbrook, by giving away any first-round high picks we have under the hope that AD stays and AD doesn't get hurt, which the history tells you that shit ain't gonna happen. And the only reason why the media don't go after him like that is because he's a Clutch Sport client. I used to be real resistant to that. I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of a conspiracy thing. Nope, it's the fucking truth. If you are a Clutch Sports client, you get high praise from the media and you get virtually no criticism. So anyway, that's all I got to say about it.